All right. Studio's changed once again. I needed some time to. No, I didn't need time. I needed to resituate my desk setup again. Most of the work that I've been doing so far is just required, just like one monitor setup is totally fine to get it done. So I basically just take my laptop and I sit on my really comfy couch and I just work from there. And this time I got into a project that required a little bit more than that. So I had to dust off the old desk and pull out the second monitor and hook all that stuff up. So I figured I would just move my mic over to the desk setup this time so that it's just kind of there. It does make it a little bit easier so that I don't have to move my computer over to the piano area and all this stuff. So, it's all that's been done. It's been interesting getting back into some different projects like this. It's been really good for me. The brain has been pumping on a bunch of different things, and that has been a ton of fun. Uh, so there's that, and that's a super fun thing. It also has given me a nice brain refresher, just kind of changing up my layout, and makes it so that I'm thinking about a bunch of different projects I've wanted to do in a different light. So that's great. On that note, there's some other stuff that happened today which was just not expected. It was like straight out of some sort of cartoon or TV show or something. And it was that I got to save some ducklings. I am the savior of ducklings. Vaughn, savior of ducklings, all the things, it's great. So there I was taking my, afternoon walk just a little bit and decompressing from a bit of different work so that I could, relax a little bit and then hit the computer again. And some of my roommates came across and they were like, "Hey, hey, hey, there's ducklings. We got to save the ducklings." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, where are they?" And they're like, "They fell in the storm grate." So off to the storm grate they went. Somebody brought a ladle and we went over there and it was like, "Oh no, the ducklings." So I like try to reach my arm and it's just not enough clearance for it. So I wedge my arm. I like go totally prone and wedge my arm sideways into the storm grate and like vending machine pry myself in there. I don't know if anyone gets that kind of reference, but if you stuck your arm in a vending machine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so, don't ask me why I stick my arm in vending machines. It's not important. So we were going along, and you jam the you can like jimmy the ladle down there and reach, and it just wasn't long enough to get to the ducklings. They were like 2 feet down, and one of our neighbors in the loop, we have like a neighborhood loop esque thing. So one of our neighbors, they brought some sort of like thing that's probably used for frying or something. It was like a flat strainer or something like that. I don't know what it would have been used for, but frying is the only thing I can think of it. Maybe steaming. Could totally be steaming. Anyway, so it was just barely long enough to kind of like scoop at the ducklings, and they're down there. So I'm going down there, and I'm like jammed in there. My back is hurting because of the weird angle of my arm and all this stuff, and I'm trying to scoop these ducklings out, and I finally get one of them up on it, and I try to like wedge it. I try to like wedge it so that it. Sorry, I'm getting kind of animated, so I'm moving back and forth from the mic. I like try to wedge my arm because of the angle. I can't just like bring them all the way up, so I'm just like kind of shimmying my arm back out of the storm grate to try to get them up close enough so we can get it, and then it jumps off. And it's like, no, there's 5 ducklings in there. This is going to take forever. And so after a little bit, one of my roommates, their arms are small enough to like fit a little bit into the storm grate. They can fit like 6 inches into the storm grate before their arms get stuck on the bars. And so I would lift up, just reach down, and then the duckling would get on there, and I would just like as quickly as possible lift it up, and then the then my roommate would grab the ducklings and then go and release them to the pond, and we did that for probably 15 minutes. I was just like prone on the ground scooping at ducklings. But yeah, so after a while, and the last one was just extremely difficult. It just blended in with the dark water terribly. The sun's starting to go down. It was, I say afternoon walk, but it was more like late afternoon walk, you know. But it's starting to get dark. I'm like trying to reach around to get this duckling, and it just does not want to cooperate until the very last bit. We finally just I just finally lifted up fast enough so that the so that the my roommate can grab the duckling and then and then shimmy their way out of the storm grate. So that was extremely exciting and eventful and whatnot. That was a lot of fun. That was only a small portion of the day, but but it was great. It was great. I got to save a bunch of ducklings. But next time I'm definitely just gonna bring a crowbar and just crowbar that grate open. So yeah,